The seeds we plant determine the fruits we harvest, just as the choices we make shape the outcomes we face. No matter where our future takes us, we must never forget where and why we planted these seeds. It wasn't easy to arrest that woman, taking her away from her child in the middle of the night. All I could do was pay a visit after the case closed and help the kid finish the house of cards they'd been building together.
You need help? The theatre of Dionysus is truly mesmerizing, and the wine here is beyond compare. Athens, so much greater than the history books could have ever taught us. This apple believes I found my true home. But who brought me this blanket? So comfortable.
The vine weaves across the boundless earth, scattering far the bountiful gifts of Dionysus. Under your watchful gaze, the world brims with hope.
Wait, wasn't I in the theatre of Dionysus?
Look, an apple! I've never seen an apple so big before. Oh, incredible! It has a rich aroma of fine wine coming from its rind. I can't believe my ears. Is this apple snoring? Everyone, Dionysus' blessing is surely upon us. He must rejoice to see that we will hold the Dionysia as planned. But a magical apple such as this must be used to honor our patron. I suggest we make it into a fine wine.
It's too late for that, my friends. By the time this apple will have fermented, the Dionysia will be long over. And even so, we'd need many large, sweet apples like this one for such an offering.
Captain, Vertin, save me!
Oh, this is bad. This is bad, Vertin. I've turned the whole city upside down and backwards. Not a single soul has seen a flying apple. Oh, how was your luck?
I'm afraid all I found were these. The Athenians were very generous. When they learned I was searching for an apple, they insisted on giving me every apple they could find. Some of them looked freshly plucked. They even offered me some of their wine. They said it might help me see my flying apple.
Oh, sod it all. None of these lousy things look like Mr. Apple. Oh, this tastes awful, Vertin. Don't tell me the Athenians actually enjoy eating sour fruit like this.
Regulus, we've arrived in classical Greece during the Peloponnesian War. This was before apples underwent the crossbreeding necessary to gain their modern sweet taste. In fact, most people of this time would prefer grapes and figs. Apples were considered to be used as offerings to the gods.
You mean we'll never ever find Mr. Apple?
No, Regulus. What I meant is, Perhaps Mr. Apple has accidentally become part of some offering. We should be on the lookout, but we need to be careful. We can't just pluck him from an offering without causing offense.
If only we could broadcast a missing apple alert. Or at least hand out some posters.
I don't think we have enough money left. With what we have, we could scarcely afford to buy a few sheets of papyrus. If we wanted to make posters for Mr. Apple, we may need to ask Miss Sotheby for help, though she's not part of this operation.
Vertin, we've got to solve the storm once and for all.
Huh?
Oh, it's nothing. All I meant is that we should thank Lorenz for their great invention, the stage in the rain. Just pondering here. But what would we need to whip up a loudspeaker in ancient Greece? Eh, Vertin? And what are the odds of us getting acquainted with some local scoundrels? Or rock gods, forgive me, even a cop? Do you think Mr. Apple could regenerate if we only find his core? There's no use for it. I'll have to put together a remembrance set for my next broadcast.
You've got the right idea, Regulus. When in Athens, do as the Athenians do.
So then we're going to get help from some local scoundrels?
I'm not sure about scoundrels, but there are sure to be mercenaries around, or informants.
Ah! Too right. Just as London had me to keep the pulse on the city, there's sure to be some kind-hearted legend who knows every nook and cranny of Athens. Ha! You just leave it to me, Vertin. Just think, a like-minded rocker of the ancient world. We'll get on like jam on toast. And once we're thick as thieves, we'll get that information for a song.
high ground to hurt. I found my target. I'll show you.
It's nearly made this year.
The puppy agreed with your decision.
En todos los momentos. En la acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más.
Ikaros, find your mark.
I remember it's called Lending a Hand.
Happy to lend a hand. I dedicate this song to you. Listen to the melody of
We need
winds and
simply
waves.
rely on the micro
Before your
physical
safety.
power.
Really do that to a poor little maid. Listen up!
Is this truly what we've been searching for?
My next performance, bubbles bursting.
Perfect service, just like always.
Stay behind me. I'll keep us safe. Please enjoy.
We need simply rely on the micro physical
A
power.
real troublemaker of a guest, Ozzy. You really do that to a poor little maid. Listen up! We're not afraid of you!
A wonderful thing.
Stay away, you are not welcome here! I dedicate this song to you!
In the repeating cycle, we may feel regret, or even perish in the chaos. Fortunately, this time, we were given a perfect ending.
fight anymore! I can't really... Like a metaphor? I can't read it. Like a metaphor?
The law is above all else.
And now it's easier to understand. Are you ready to shake? Woohoo! Release!
Thou shalt make an atonement for thy sins in full.
Some space. Woohoo! Release! Left hand up! Now right hands up! To read. And now it's easier to understand.
Using troops.
Have you not heard of Deimos, the demigod of terror, rightfully worshipped by the cult of Cosmos and soon enough the world? And you should know that I am he.
Please be careful. I'm collecting the spores on the mushroom canopy. Even the slightest breath will blow them all over the place. The last thing I want to see is mushrooms growing all over the neat suitcase. I mean, I love mushrooms, but we have to keep it moderate.
One lives, while the other dies. One preaches peace and tolerance, while the other commits unforgivable crimes. So, which one are you seeking?
Vertin abrió la puerta de golpe. Llevaba una expresión que sugería que se había desconectado de la realidad en la que estábamos. Oh, hey there. Is there something you need?